Welcome to another FieldVision training video. My name is Dave LaFleur. This is part 2 of setting up your organization. Let's review properties. A property is a physical location such as a building, a parking lot, piece of land. Properties have physical addresses. Work orders are issued for properties. Services are performed at properties for specified work orders. Notes are made about properties and pictures are taken of properties. All correspondence about a property is linked to the property. This creates a historical record about that property and the work that's been done on that property. Let's take a look at some property records in our demo account here. A property record has a property name. It has a property tag. Now the tag is a unique identifier. Every property tag is unique across all organizations, across all properties within the whole FieldVision platform. That means you cannot use, in this case, FMB1. Nobody else in any other organization could use that property tag. It uniquely identifies a property. If you try to use a tag that's already taken, the application will tell you and you'll have to pick a different tag. Properties have their physical address. I would highly recommend putting in complete and valid addresses. If you do this, the navigation button will work. You'll be able to use that address to get to that property. We can put in notes that are associated with the property. In this case, the note says, always check in with the bank manager when performing work at this location. You can be as specific or generic, or you can leave notes out. But this is very helpful to give anybody who needs to do work instructions on what might be specific about this property, whether you got to sign in at the front door, whether you watch out for the construction that's going on the east side, or whatever your notes may be. Good place to help document that property. We can also associate photos with the property itself. In this case, we've got 3 photos associated with this property. The eye symbol says there's some information associated with those. Let's click there. We've got some notes associated with this photo. It says area beyond the sidewalk is not our property and is the responsibility of the shopping center. Nice helpful note to tell anybody who shows up here that that's not part of what they need to be worried about. Got another picture of the landscape, no notes, and then another picture with some notes. It says the monument sign is part of our property and must be maintained. Very helpful to let anybody know what is important about the property and maybe what is not important or what's not part of the property. These are the kind of things that get field service crews mixed up as to what they need to do. It's a very good tool for documenting the property. Now you can also document the property with videos as well. Put as many pictures or videos as you like, and that can really help to define a property and let your crews know specific details about that property. Down at the bottom, we've got the work completed section, and as we have reviewed in some of the other videos, in this section it will show you all of the services that have been performed on this particular property. In this case, we have a weekly service, a fertilizer and inspection on August 1st, 2016. So very handy when you're looking at a property record to also see the services that have been performed. Now let's go back. Let's create a new property record. Click on New Property. Organization, that will be the organization that you belong to. Let's select that. Let's give it a property name. In this case, we'll just say training property. And let's give it a tag, TR1, and we'll just say 101 Main Street. Let's give it a city, Denver, Colorado, 80234. Okay, let's call this our test and training property. Okay, now we could add photos or video. We won't do that right now because we're sitting at a desk. Let's submit this, and it goes back ready to create another property. But what we can see, now we have the test and training property here, and that is ready for us to use it and create some work orders. So let's go back to our main menu here, click on work orders, then click the add work order button in the upper right hand corner. We need a work order name. Let's call it test work order 1. All right, customer order number. Now, this is a handy field to have if your customer gives you their reference number or their purchase order number or a work order number, a number that is not unique to your organization but is unique to perhaps your customer. If you have it, great, put it in. If you don't, then you don't need to worry about it. The organization, this is again the organization that you work for. Now we have our property list here. Let's pull down on the property list, and here's the property we just put in, training property. We'll select that. We'll select the service category. In this case, let's say this is a grounds maintenance work order. Let's put our work order status. We have open, pending, completed, and closed. Obviously, it wouldn't make much sense just to put in a work order to say it was completed or closed. At this point, you could put it in as open, which is what we're going to do. Pending shows up in the work order screen under the pending list, and that's for organizations that issue work orders, but they may have to have their service provider accept the work order before they do it. In this case, we're just going to go straight to open. The next field here is work group. Now, we haven't discussed work groups yet. Work groups are very important, and work groups will be discussed in great detail in part 3 of the setting up your organization series here. So for now, we're just going to pick, say, Metro Area Maintenance is our work group. Let's give it an effective date and an effective time. And it doesn't really matter because this is a test. Let's give it an expiration date and an expiration time. Work order type. We saw in the previous video that we could set up various work order types. In this case, we have a list of one-time, recurring, monthly, annual service, and non-billable service. That's a handy, non-billable is handy so that suppose you had a work order for grounds maintenance for the crew and they didn't do it right. So you want to put in another work order and you say, hey, by the way, don't bill me for this service because you didn't do the last one right. So there again, you set up your own work order types. In this case, we're going to pick a one-time service, and let's put in some notes on what needs to happen. Let's see, let's say pick pick up all debris caused by last night's storm. You had a storm blow through, tore the leaves off the trees and the shrubs, and the client wants it cleaned up. If we were on site creating this work order, we could add photos or some videos so that the crew could see visually what you mean, what you want them to do. You could put in a video, say, hey, here on the east side the trees are torn up, let's get everything cleaned up. In this case, we are sitting at a desk, so we won't put in any photos or videos. It gives you a confirm screen. You can review what you've put in and say, yep, that's good. So let's hit confirm. Back to the work order screen, where the new work order screen, where you could add more work orders. And you see under grounds maintenance the work order, test work order 1 that we just put in. And that is ready for a crew to go out and do the work that you've specified in this work order. Since this video is primarily concerned with setting up your organization, I won't go into the steps of updating the work order that we just created. You can find that information in the Getting Started for Field Technicians video. That does it for setting up your organization part 2. Please join us in part 3.